Kenneth Clarke comes copper-bottomed home from Brussels. Has he diffused another potential Euro mutiny? Or was today's fire at the Treasury an omen of the roasting that he and Mr Major still face from their party's Eurosceptics? And is the ditching of Nick Scott yet another sign of retreat by the centrists and of the triumph of the right? Join me in 5 minutes.
Now on BBC Two, the latest news with Moira Stewart.
Good afternoon. A sixth person has died in the E. coli food poisoning outbreak in Lanarkshire. The latest victim is a 72-year-old woman who died today at Monklands Hospital in Airdrie. And anger is growing over an outbreak last year in Sunderland, which went unreported by the local health authority.
2 pensioners died, 1 child was left with irreparable kidney damage, 30 people were infected overall. But an outbreak of E. coli in Sunderland last year wasn't made public. Some of the victims are considering legal action. Sunderland Health Authority says there was no public warning because the source of poisoning was quickly pinpointed to one butcher's shop, which was closed briefly for an environmental health inspection.
I think the feeling between ourselves, as the health authority and the local authority, were that effective and immediate steps were taken. It wasn't a citywide issue, it was a local neighbourhood issue. Should it have been necessary in order to protect public health to go public with it, then we would have done.
E. coli was thought to have been a problem only in undercooked beef, but scientists are increasingly concerned that other food products can be cross-contaminated with this deadly food bug.
The father of Lee Harvey, who was stabbed to death on Sunday night in a so-called road rage attack in Worcestershire, has appealed to the public to help capture his killer. Lee's girlfriend, Tracy Andrews, who was in the car at the time of the attack, joined his parents at a news conference today.
If he's done it once, he can quite easily do it again. And I'm appealing to everybody out there, it could be your son, your daughter, or one of your children next time. I appeal to you. As a loving father to please turn him in. He deserves nothing better.
More than 1,500 jobs are to go in the car components industry in Wales and the West Midlands. The job losses are the result of a worldwide restructuring programme announced by the American Lucas Variety Group. A similar number of jobs will disappear abroad. British and French officials are meeting to try to resolve a dispute over 2 fishing grounds near the Channel Islands. French fishermen are angry about Britain's decision to end a 2-year agreement allowing them to fish in areas called the Sark and Haricot boxes. Today's bad weather meant a confrontation was avoided when the French trawlers were forced to return to port. The government has launched a new campaign against drinking and driving in the run-up to Christmas. Police forces in England and Wales will be encouraged to breathalyse every driver involved in a road accident, as well as those stopped for minor offences. A new television campaign features the victim of a drunk driver, his girlfriend, who's scarred in the crash. That's it. More news at 5 to 4.
Good afternoon from News West. The fight to prevent the deportation of Jaram Khadka, the Nepalese heir to Clearwell Castle, takes a new turn today. At a news conference this afternoon, his family are outlining details of growing opposition to the Home Secretary's decision to expel him as an illegal immigrant. A man has appeared in court in South Africa accused of killing 2 former Bath students 4 years ago. They were killed on an isolated stretch of beach at the Maputaland Marine Reserve as they sunbathed. It's understood a 26-year-old man walked into a police station and confessed. Police forces across the West have launched their Christmas campaign against drink driving today. It coincides with the start of the national campaign and will cost over £1 million. And a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. It'll be bright with sunny spells, although there will be some scattered showers. It'll be colder than today, with highest temperatures around 7 degrees Celsius. That's 45 Fahrenheit. That's it. Next news in an hour.
Good afternoon to you. Some really nasty weather around in northern parts of the country. Heavy rain and sleet and snow. The snow more particularly over the hills, giving some really large falls at the moment, and that snow is drifting as well in these strong winds. There's the culprit, that area of low pressure. It'll continue to move away, but even so, the area of rain, sleet and snow just tilting a little bit, moving a bit further northwards across Scotland, some across into Northern Ireland as well. For the more central and southern parts, a brighter picture with some sunshine, but a fair number of blustery showers. Mild in the south, pretty cold in the north. The low pressure moves away during the course of the night, but it pulls back some sleet or snow into parts of northern England, and we're going to find showery bursts of rain further south as well. And it's going to be a windy night, mild in the south, but cold with a touch of frost in those more northern parts.
Remember the 80s, the time of the self-made millionaire, a time when dreams could come true.
The 80s will never come back.
And then in the 90s, it all went wrong.
I'll go bankrupt and be done with it, finished.
Two individual stories.
Banks are not there to support you. They're there to make money, nothing else.
Of riches to rags.
I'm gone from having everything to having nothing.
Modern times and enterprise culture revisited. Tomorrow at 9 on BBC Two.
Now on BBC Two, Westminster with Nick Ross.
Good afternoon. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Kenneth Clark comes home from